It's the 50-year-old 420 gamer, and today I'm going to be showing off a new game that I've fallen head over heels for. As you guys know, I am a PlayStation player. My PlayStation died last November, and in lieu of the fact that the PS5 is coming out, I chose not to spend another $450 to buy another PS4 Pro with a terabyte on it, so I don't have to put a disc in. So anyway, long story short, I purchased a really nice laptop last year to do all my gaming and streaming and all, and so I purchased an Xbox controller, and the Xbox controller works flawlessly on any Windows game, so that's just a heads up for you players. So anyway, back to the game. I am now playing a new game called Grounded. It is an Xbox Windows exclusive, so unfortunately if you're on PlayStation you would have to get a PC or an Xbox to play this, but this game is stunningly beautiful. It is basically Fortnite building meets Honey, I Shrunk the Kids animated movie that you control. The game is stunningly beautiful. As you can see, we're in my backyard. I've been shrunk down to the size of an ant. You get trigger points that you can mark on the map where you can mark all your locations of stuff you want to farm, stuff you want to eat, stuff you want to drink, where your homes are. Basically, this is your backyard and you've been shrunk down to the size of an ant. So here is the map. As you guys can see, I've already been all over my map. So we'll go out to the very edge. This is the very edge of the map. As you can see, there's still tiny spots that are not filled in. The game is about 2 months old or so, and the developers are really listening to the community. The developers are called Obsidian Games. How interesting that we use Obsidian all the time in Fortnite, and now here I'm playing a game that's created by a company called Obsidian. But their game is beautiful. They seem to be communicating with the community very well. They have a new update coming out on the 27th of August, which is going to bring us bees and leeches and koi fish, and I think it's going to bring us scuba gear. So the game's really taking off, but you guys know I love to build. So this video is basically showing you guys my base build. So this is the pond in the backyard. That's the shed. There's a little barbecue grill up there. Obviously, a small little lawn back there, but we don't have access to that yet. And then the big giant oak tree that's kind of in the middle of the backyard by the koi pond. So let's take a little jaunt through the community here, or the forest, whatever you want to call it, and that way you guys get to see a bit of the game and see how gorgeous this is. I'm on the walkstones around the giant koi pond. Well, it's giant to me because I'm the size of an ant, but there are spiders, there are beetles, there are all kinds of things that you have to make sure that doesn't kill you. And I guess we're getting koi fish, so that when we swim in this pond now, there will actually be something that will attack us or kill us. So that's pretty interesting. You get to collect, you get to chop down, you get to break open, all different types of items in this game to collect. This is kind of the Fortnite on steroids in terms of all the different items that you get to collect and use, because it's real life. So you get to use like fibrous herbs, but they're actually called plant fiber, and then there's dried plant fiber, so that you can make torches and you can make shovels. You have to have an oak an acorn shell from the oak tree to create a shovel. You have to have certain items to create other items, so it is quest oriented. You have to complete certain types of quests. And now off to my build. These are called research centers. So this one out here is by where the spiders are, and it's kind of a great location. So I decided that since the research center was there, and you have to research new items that you find, so that way they can be put in your inventory and you can use them, then I chose that I would build my small little base up here, and the small little base became kind of a big base. So as you can see, it's kind of just an open plank base, but this is kind of my main base at this point. so that way I had water, I had food, and I could basically transport it to my other bases. This is the green
water
base,
filtration tablets
so
needed.
this is the oak tree base. I consider this the tree house. So my icon for this actual home base is green, and then there's a base over by the water, so that's my blue base, and then there's a base by the blueberries and the clay that you need, so that's my orange base, and then I have a base that's in the center of the map that's near the ant pile, and that's my orange base, or excuse me, that's my red base, red for ants, but that's also the piece de resistance, shall we say, because it's my largest build, and that's what this video is about, is showing off the building capabilities of this video game. It's absolutely stunning. You have to gather, stems, wood stems that act as 2x4s and 2x6s, so that you can build the structure so that it will actually support the stair. Like those are 2x in the back that hold the stair up, and then there's the clover leaves that act as roofing for the roofing pieces. As you'll see, I'll walk on it right here. That's a clover leaf roof section. And then they have these great things where you can store your material. But here we are at my second base. This is the water base. This is way out on the end of the map, out by the picnic table. So that way, when I'm way on this side of the map, if I need anything, I'm not having to run all the way to the other side of the map to get any necessities that I need, food or water. So this one's kind of a small one. This is what I call my slab bases, where I just basically build a slab on the bottom and then extend it out over something. So right now we don't have any fish, so we don't have anything in the koi pond that could disrupt this build from down under, from underneath, but that's coming. So this build may get damaged by fish that may be down in the water. Actually, no, this is out by the sprinkler, so I'm sorry. This base, unless there's larger tadpoles or frogs or something that they may bring, this probably shouldn't get damaged because it just floats over the big giant rock. And then this is my base out by the blueberries, out by the bird feeder. This is where all the clay is. So this is a little bit larger base because, if I'm not mistaken, I think this was my second to third base, and this was the one where I started building big. Actually, this was wider, but the game has started to take about 5 minutes for me to log in, so that's telling me I'm getting near my build limit, kind of like creative over in Fortnite. When I get near the 100,000 mark, it takes a while for me to load into my creative build because I'm at the build limit. So I think I'm getting near there on this one because it's taking me longer and longer to get in. Although once I do get in, the game runs smoothly. I'm running an i7 with I think it's a 2060 graphics card, so I think it's 16 gigs of DDR6 RAM. And the piece of resistance, the red base. Look at that giant thing. I like the night look because the lights are they're amazing. It looks killer. I mean, look at that. Come on. You would not want to play this game? This is outrageous that you can build like this in this game. That you can have these decor and, I understand there's not a whole lot of traps over here. Actually, there's only one, and it's a little spike trap, and it's kind of, if you use it in the right place, it's okay, but it's nothing trap-wise like Fortnite Save the World. But at the same time, that being said, Fortnite Save the World is nothing like this building process here. The capability of small little ramps, the capability of wood, the capability of stone, and the look of it is just amazing. Granted, there is no editing of pieces, i.e. like in Fortnite Save the World, you can edit the wall, you can edit the ceiling, you can edit every piece. In this particular game, you cannot edit. this is my storage, so that when people come up, they already know what's in that bin. The smoothie is on the bottom, so you don't have to go all the way up. Up top, I'm kind of moving some things around. I've moved all my water catchers behind that. That used to be open, but this is the how should we say, the cathedral dome ceiling. But all of my food and water supplies are going to be back behind these, so that way there'll be one on each corner, so that way when this game goes full on and it's 4-player capability, I can have 3 players in my base and they'll have enough to drink, eat, and not have to worry about, what are we going to fight and how do we, get all that food across the map. And I want to have locations so that way when full gameplay comes, everybody's just focusing on the gameplay and not really how do we get items from one side of the board to the next. And then this is my deck out back. And as you can see, we're up over the grass line. I was trying to make it so the grass never grew up through the actual build. And that's the backyard. That's fence or Rake Mountain or Rake Hill over there across the way. You can't see it real good, but when we get up on the roof, you'll be able to see it. It's 420 Weed Killer is what that bottle says on it, which I find interesting that the game designers and the game manufacturers actually put that in there. That's classic. I like that. Especially, I'm the 50-year-old 420 gamer, so that's interesting. So here we are on the very peak of the largest build that I have, and as you can see, we're in a backyard. We've been shrunk down to the size of an ant. Again, that's the 420 Weed Killer. I think right there you can see it. 420 Weed Killer. So over in that area, you actually have to wear a gas mask. You have to kill a specific insect so that you can get that gas mask, or shall we say, craft that gas mask so that way you can go into that area without dying. The game does revolve around a backpack. So those of you take into consideration, if you've never played this style game before, wherever you die on the board, that's where your backpack falls, and that's where you have to go back to get that backpack. So in other words, once you rejuvenate and you come back, you don't have all your items. All your items are in that backpack that's maybe on the other side of the board because of where your spawn point may have been. So take that into consideration. If you're going to do something where you think you may die, you put down what's called a little, I don't know what it's called. It's like a little teepee, little hut that you go to sleep at. Put one of those down and set a wave point. That way, if you do die, you spawn right next to the area where you actually want to be, instead of across the other side of the board with no backpack, no weapon, no nothing, and then have to traverse all the way across the map just to get your items. Because if you do happen to be near a base and you put on new armor and you craft all new kinds of stuff, and then you have a whole new backpack, when you get to the backpack that is out there, that backpack will be too much for you to carry, and then you're standing there trying to figure out what do you leave behind or what do you destroy, because you can take a whole stack of items or a single item and say trash it, get rid of it, so it goes away off the board. So as you can see by my building here, this was how I traversed to get the top of the roof done. Made myself a little opening here, finished everything up top, came back into this little opening, took down my scaffolding, and then put the last 2 pieces up and then climbed down, so that way it was one peaked roof. So again, if you guys like building, this is an amazingly, incredibly fun game to play. I've found myself playing this game for hours, and I don't mean 1 or 2, I mean 3, 4, 5, 6 sometimes, and thinking, wow, holy cow, I didn't even realize this much time passed. My buddy Junior, JNLR, you always see him in my videos. He's way further along than me in terms of things that he has, like spider armor and stuff that I don't have, because I got so enthralled with the building process of this game that I kind of forgot to do the game itself, which is okay, because in all honesty, I don't want to rush through this game. I have a tendency to do that. If you guys noticed over on Fortnite Save the World, I was endgame really quickly. I love just quest and grinding through a game, but at the same time, I kind of want to cherish this game. So if you guys really want to check it out, this is an incredible game. Thank you for spending time with me. Hit that like and subscribe button, and I'm almost to 1,000 subscribers. Woohoo! Thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful day.